Yes, our session is recorded, so I will share slides in PDF and also recording with you guys at the end of the session. Okay, let us start in about 1 minute. There's a attendance link. Please click on the attendance link if you're using a handphone. If you can scan, go ahead and scan. I'll have this attendance thingy in another few slides, just in case for late comers. All right, okay. All right, good evening. Thank you so much for being here with me. Okay, one of your friends joining in. All right, thank you so much for spending another day with me. And our today's title is 8 Ways to Create Service-Driven Work Culture. Of course, my slide is catered for, thanks, Kalishi. My slide is of course catered for the hospitality industry, but not to worry, it can be applied across, you know, because the trickiest part about hospitality is that there's just so many pit stops where it involves the guest. So let us try to apply also in your respective industry. First, before we continue, Fatin dah, apa nama, Fatin, you dah, apa nama, scan QR untuk attendance kah? If not, there's also a link. Just share the link again. Okay, I'm sharing also Kahoot. This is for later. All right, and we are recorded. All right, let me do a temperature check. Please let me know if you're on which device. A laptop, number one. Number two is a handphone. Laptop or handphone? Which device are you using? Laptop or handphone, right? Okay, Shafiq, Jaga, Zafran, all on handphone. Then you can use the link. Firdaus tak masuk kan? Alright. Firdaus handphone ataupun laptop. Okay, keep it going. If you're on a handphone type 2, on a laptop type 1. Okay, laptop tune. So can scan. Alright. By the way, I have good news. This session is recorded. Thanks to Jaga for the reminder. Okay, and yes, I will share with you guys the slides in PDF form at the end of the session. Have you guys had dinner lah? Semua dah dinner lah? Alright, Husnina also on laptop. Okay, done. Dinner done. Okay, I pun done. Tak boleh lewat sangat. Sometimes a bit late lah. Alright, so tell me where you're from. What industry are you in? So that as we go along, we can apply. Because today's topic is about service-driven work culture. This can be applied two ways. One for external, whoever externally from the organization, could be guest customers. And then internally will be our team members. Okay, at its whatever level lah. All right. Okay, please put in the chat box which industry are you in and where are you from. I think I'm quite familiar with most of you. Okay, team typing. All right, so keep it going in the chat box. All right, let's look at the course overview. Yes, telco. Okay, Colin Shi, I'm just curious. Do you involve directly with the customer or not? Pushing construction industry. Okay, great. KPJ Ipoh, okay, healthcare. Wait, we still have some friends joining in. Let me just go back to the slide. Okay, Hillary, Kuching, construction, Kolichi, telco, Husina, KPJ Ipoh. Did I meet you the other day? Jay from Selangor, currently job seeker, but have experience in telco. Okay, great. Is later door-to-door. Yeah, door-to-door service. Because in this section, when you apply service-driven work culture, yes, Kimal still one mic yang ni. Yes, when involve clients, what we want to do is we want to map their journey at which point that they have most interaction with us, and at which point is very very fragile. Okay, they are they are a long customer journey kan. It doesn't matter once it start with your brand, they start scrolling you, that already start, you know. So it's how user friendly our system is, how user friendly of them getting information, and what happens next. Okay, and then you tengok in that whole journey to where is the most critical part, which is very fragile. Okay, then it needed more effort kat situ lah. Okay, and it needs team effort. Welcome Arlene. I know Arlene is my Arlene, where are you based? Are you based in Singapore? Online sale. Yeah, 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 true. Online sale. Even if you have like that chat, KL Singapore, okay, good, great. Even you have like the chat box, right? I know people create the chat box and do all the FAQ, but it needs to be user friendly. I have come across going through chat box from the website, not user friendly. If you ask any other question, then whatever listed there, memang tak layan. We're like, okay, please, they keep on asking you to press, and it's not related. So at the end of the day, yes, we have all the AI, we have all the, all the tech, but then it's how we make the tech as human as possible. And well, at the end of the day, we still need human because we are dealing with humans. All right, okay. Those who have just joined in, please scan QR for attendance. I'm sharing the link again. Okay, now let's go because we're a bit 6 minutes. Yeah, cannot answer anything one. Because like the normal one, yeah, there are normal problems, but there are certain issues that we need to address. At least got one button to say click here and it goes to a person lah, kan. So like that lah. Well, there's always room for improvement. Okay, the course goal is to empower leaders, all right, to cultivate a strong and service-driven culture that enhances guest satisfaction and team performance. If you look at here, there's two. Okay, you got one stone, you throw dua bird mati. Okay, so you take guest satisfaction, which is your external, and also team performance. All right. So the audience, managers, supervisors with service-focused environment who have daily influence with guest interaction. And what you will learn throughout this 1 hour is 8 evidence-based strategies to promote accountability, guest-centric thinking, and also team collaboration. All of these are interrelated, right? Here's a bit about me. I think most of you dah berapa. Okay, I'm just curious. How many of you are my return customer? Say return lah. Type R. If you're new, type N. I'm curious. I think I see your names are coming up almost. We did this on the second, right? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, tak ada 9. So we did like 7. This is a 7 program. So I have another 6. Please share with me in the chat box. If you're return, type R. If you're new, just type N. Okay. I feel that 80% of you are return. Okay, so you know me already. My name is Phoebe. I'm hospitality trainer. I do leadership as well, and I'm a founder of alumni. You legend already lah. Bukan alumni, you dah one level up. Okay, founder of web training and consultancy services. My area of expertise is customer service, something I enjoy to do. It's more passion, I would say. Okay, housekeeping, the hotel housekeeping. You go to a hotel, you want clean rooms. Okay, I do the training, right? And I'm also OCD. I try to refrain not to be so OCD lah, but cannot tahan. So imagine OCD trainer buat housekeeping, do the maths lah. Okay, team development, and yes, I was both, I was, I had the opportunity to be in the hotel industry and also the education industry, and we leave no one behind. Okay, simple as that. All right. Okay, here are the three modules that we will do tonight. Number one is the service mindset. Number two is setting clear expectations. Number three is motivating and recognizing. Last but not least, what we will do, we will recap lah. Summary of strategies to implement immediately. So I need sharing from the floor as well from you guys to tell me, let's say when we talk about customer journey. If can, you all share in the chat box what are the checkpoints that you have in your respective industry. Okay. All right. Okay, let's look at module one. All right. So what defines a strong service culture? Okay. Where is the borderline? How far should we go? You know, when it comes to service, you cannot like over, you know. Over means it become very annoying. Touch code means it become very below expectation. Okay, so when it comes to service, it needs to be just nice. When you want to go over, it has to create that moment, that feeling. Because we're talking about something which is very, very intangible. Tak boleh tengok, you know. Okay, you just have to see the reaction of that person. All right. Okay, in this module, we also want to see the customer journey. Okay, leader's role, how leader's role shape the service attitude. Okay, if you look at the quote here, service begins in the mind. You guys agree or not? Service begins in the mind. Okay, but life is through our action. Yes, it needs to start with the mind, right? You have the right attitude, you have the right mindset. Service is like a breeze. Okay. All right. So why service culture matters? Okay. This is for a guest-centric thinking. All right. We look at customer retention. Why? Why we want to retain customer? Okay. Why we want to retain customer? You see, it's about long-term profitability. Okay. I think we discussed the other day about getting newer customer is always harder compared to retaining existing one. And if you build this rapport, you build from this existing one, it can always grow. Not just grow, it can always explode. Okay, so when they're happy with you, they keep coming back. Okay, same goes if you're using, even if your product and services, even if you're in retail, it's the same. If you have a fan base, everything is going to be smoother. And what you need is just to manage the expectation and to ensure that service comes a long way. Okay. All right. So strong service cultures improve customer loyalty and repeat guests spend 67 more than a new one. Okay. And if they're really happy with you, like super happy, gila-gila, they're willing to spend money on you. Okay. All right, on your business Okay, employee engagement. Okay, engaged team in service driven environment show 21% higher profitability. Why? Kita tengok why. Okay. What else? Reputation and reviews. How many of us, when we book rooms, hotel rooms, or we want to travel anywhere, we always look at the review. How many of you? If yes, type yes. If no, tak kisah, you just say no. Okay, majority we look for review, right? For me, first thing first, cleanliness. Alright, even like places of interest, we want to see what are the ideal places where to eat. Okay, tengok review first kan. Kalau review nampak macam tak cun je, alah. Okay, sometimes pictures, photo can lie lah. But then when it comes from the customer, it's a different story. Okay. But then when it comes to reviews, I trust a few reviews, review platform. For example, Google, TripAdvisor. Kalau hotel tu, I trust TripAdvisor lah. But not all hotels, especially locally, that goes to TripAdvisor. Tapi kalau ada, it's beneficial lah. Yep, event photos. Okay. Untuk Agoda and Expedia ni is very tricky. Not to say that the review is not legit, but then sometimes there is side intent. Okay, intention of putting bad review, kadang dia ada apa nama, niat yang tersirat. So trustworthy tu I tak sure lah, maybe like 70% like what. Alright, so we talk about repetition in reviews. These days you talk about online review, and then of course if you have anything on social media, that'd be great. Alright, review will reflect on service quality directly, and 89% of consumer, like even like you guys, you will read the review before you book. Okay, competitive advantage. When you talk about service, exceptional service is harder to replicate. Price is easy. Price, you do your match, you do your formula, you do your apa nama, you have enough data, you can do the pricing. But exceptional service is hard to replicate. And when it comes to really exceptional service, people are willing to pay for it. Okay. And then comes your amenities, right? And how you make it sustainable, a sustainable differentiator. If your area got so many competitors, how do you want to use service as your competitive advantage? Okay. All right. Let's define a strong service culture. We're going to look at what makes it distinctive and sustainable. Number one is shared value. Okay. Shared values is something that is aligned. It is what do you say? Because you must remember, culture is not just on the surface. It is habitual. So when you talk about surface level behavior, it's just you are doing, following SOP. Okay, you're just doing your day-to-day job according to what is expected. That's it. Okay, those are very surface level based. But when you talk about service culture, it is habitual. Okay, it's gonna last longer. It's gonna be more effective over time and more efficient. All right, here we're gonna look at shared value. All right, so everyone from executive to frontline staff aligns around guest-centered values. When you talk about culture, it has to align. Tak boleh just front office, or tak boleh just sales department, or tak boleh just F&B, or any other department that leads the customer. It has to align throughout the organization, top to bottom, bottom to top. Alright. Okay. And then you look at behavioral norms. Okay, what are your norms among your colleagues? And how do you, what are your actions, all right? And key behavioral norms, empathy. Okay, empathy ni memang wajib lah. Okay, it is something when you have this, like you have a superpower, because it's not easy. Okay, consistency, proactive communication. Proactive communication, you can also refer them as timely communication. Okay, when something happens, issue arises, how do you go about it proactively and not reactive? Right. Next, empowered staff. The staff needs to be empowered so that they can take action. All right. And if this become a culture, then it will be more effective when they make decisions, because we want them to make real-time service decisions, but it has to be within the guidelines. So building service culture is not just a matter of throwing down the SOP to the staff, read it, nak rebus minum ke apa ke, it doesn't work that way. It needs to be built. All right. And empowered staff, I would say, a critical pillar of the whole service culture. Right? Leadership modeling, ini cakap tak boleh cakap, tak suka bikin. Alright, leaders are the role model. So leaders visibly reinforce service value through their daily actions and coaching. You imagine, they talk about service culture, you need to do but the leader tak buat. Then how do you think everyone else is going to follow? Correct or not? So leaders are the role models, and they need to reinforce the service value through daily action. Okay, and also coaching, mentoring, okay, whatever that is suitable. All right, let's look at the customer journey. These are sample touch points that define service quality. I want you guys later within your own respective areas to share with me what are the touch points within your customer journey. Alright, contoh tadi KPJ kan, KPJ, and then Hillary, your construction. Okay, hotel you can also share. J, maybe you can share previously in your previous job, how and what are the customer journey. Okay, hotel maybe Kimal, yes, effective communication efficiency output. Kimal, maybe you can identify selalunya where does your customer journey start. Okay, in this context, in this session, let's look at pre-arrival. That means before anything happens, they go to the website. This is where review takes place. Okay. Sometimes the star rating, okay, all this would reflect on why the guest is going to go to your place. So these are pre-arrival. Guest expectations begin before arrival. So website usability should be user-friendly, tak menyusahkan manusia kan. Ataupun click one thing, dia punya buffering tu like takes forever. Alright, dulu AirAsia macam tu now very efficient. Okay, call responsiveness, there's a number to call ataupun there's a chat to chat and they respond fast enough, and booking clarity. Okay, so these are the pre-arrival. Same goes kalau you are in retail kan. For example, kalau you nak beli device let's say a laptop, handphone, anything, you mesti Google dulu kan. Which brand, which model, is it iPhone, is it Samsung, is it what else okay lah, all the other brands are just not in my head right now. Okay, Huawei okay. I used to be a very Huawei fan when they started off, but then once Google got problem aduh, nightmare lah. Okay. All right, so these are the pre-arrival. Once they click on your product or services, is how fast they can get information, whether it is user friendly or whether they need to just keep on pressing one button after the other and still they don't get the information they needed. Okay, so that's the customer journey. That's where it starts. Alright, sometimes they tengok you kat Facebook kan. Okay, tengok you kat Facebook, then they start to Google you around. There must be enough information to make them to go to the next touch point. Okay, for the hotel, once they've done the pre-arrival, then we go into arrival and check-in. Okay, katalah pre-arrival tu cun sangat cantik, dah booking, dah bayar semua. On arrival, sangkut. Okay, sampai-sampai, oh nama tak ada. Dan nama tak ada, attitude, tone tak cantik, okay, muka monyok. Sebab apa? Tadi clash dengan boyfriend. Gantung dengan boyfriend kan. Ataupun tengah main game, tiba-tiba guest datang nak check in. Ni semua masalah ni, okay. So first impression set the tone. Of course, the warmth, professionalism, maybe small chat, like is this your first time to typing? Okay, pernah typing ke sebelum ni? Kadang orang datang nak kenduri. Okay, kenduri berapa hari ada sini kan? Bolehlah jalan-jalan. So give some suggestions, places of interest. Create that. It's not just about us, the place, but also our surrounding. Okay, what we do matters. Alright, warmth, professionalism, and accuracy are critical. Alright, during the stay dah check in, janganlah buat apa? Janganlah buat bodoh, alah tak apalah dah masuk dah. Okay. So ongoing service at each touch point, okay, room service, amenities, staff interaction will shape the perceived value. So dia punya journey tu sampailah dia check out, even check out you can still follow up. All that is very important because you want them to remember you in the head. Sama juga when they buy products or services, that's what we want from them. Every touch point for me, if you ask me, every touch point matters. Okay. Okay, last but not least, departure and post-stay. So you need to have follow-up surveys, thank you message, and also loyalty enrollment that will create a lasting impression. All right. What I like to do with my guests, I like to take photos upon checkout, departure. If these are return guests, I would print out, put it in a frame, and welcome them back because they're returning. I have guests who return 6 years in a row. Okay, over winter they will come over Kawi and Langkawi mah. Okay, so every time we create surprise for them, like welcome home, that sort of. Okay, it's something that they look forward to when they check in. But before even they come, let's say they're coming in November, kan? So by August 2, I will send a postcard out to say that, hey, we're excited to see you again or see you soon. Simple je, like one sentence, and then I post it out to them. So that creates that exciting and anticipation. All right. So there are a lot of creative ways to do it. So I hope you guys um get creative. All right. Because at the end of the day, we're dealing with human. Okay, so maybe in the chat box, you can share with me the next 3 minutes. What are the touch points that you can find in your own respective industry? Next 3 minutes, just type out in the chat box. I'm curious to know. Betul tak? Keep it going. Alright. Kimal, what are your checkpoints? Kebiasaan guest datang. Typing ni kalau cuti sekolah memang ramai lah. Handphone lah aduh. Your place dekat Kamunting dengan Taiping, which one is most yang during school holiday, yang mana yang selalu full house? Which one will go full house first? Kalau I tengok maybe Taiping lah kot. Sebab it's right in town kan. Sit down. Okay, the rest of you keep it going in the chat box. Where are your touch points? So maybe macam Arlene, Arlene Mice, maybe it can start from registration to post-event feedback. This will reflect on your brand value. Manufacturing, kita tak ada. Healthcare, every patient interaction. When they come back, when they come back for follow-up, right? That is also one checkpoint that you can always look forward to until, because kalau yang critical illness kan, there's always continuous check-up, ongoing check-up until lah dia orang kena discharge kan. So those are opportunities for you to have better interaction. Alright. Anyone? Kalau tak nak share ke? If dealing with first-time participant during event, usually I'll buy them souvenirs. Okay, that's nice. Before they go back to home countries, or helping them to get what they need during event, like essential needs. Oh, that's nice. Okay, that is like apa nama, beyond, alright, beyond the extra mile. So these services are something that it can also be your competitive advantage. Alright. Okay, keep on sharing. If you want to share with me, let's go to the next one. Leadership role in service culture. Okay, leader tak boleh lari ya. Syafiq Ikhwan, bila guest check out, senyum, cakap terima kasih. Okay. Jangan bila check out tu, Alhamdulillah, kan. Pasti, guest terlewek kan. Okay. Jaga for me, customer inquire about upcoming promo for TV packages. Okay, so explain the benefit and lead to sign up. Okay. Kalau you tahu it's a family, of course you tackle yang all the family punya package lah kan. Right? So those are the things that there's always room for opportunity. Later rate for service, excellent. Okay. There's always room for you to capture, because once you understand the checkpoint, if you miss one touch point, no, or checkpoint, you can always tackle them in the next one. But next one kena up your game kan. Alright, thanks for sharing. Okay, so leadership role in service culture is setting the tone through action. You must remember when it comes to service, we expect the staff, your front line to serve the guest. So you need to set the tone through action. Okay, not just cakap-cakap. The thing, some of the leaders, Hillary, for me, gaining the feedback from client is vital, improving our services and delivery to our client, especially regular customer. Yeah. Normally, kadang-kadang regular customer ni, we bend the rules a bit lah, wherever we can kan. Okay, because they're regular and they already understand us. And, even if there's shortfall from you, they already accept you the way you are. So regular customer, okay, even for me, regular customer is some, are those people that really take care lah, okay? Because they really accept you the way you are. There's shortfall, I know they will understand, but we need to be transparent about it. All right? All right, let's go back to leadership. So they need to model the behavior. Because you must remember, service-driven leadership, they are number one, hands-on. They're human-centered and they need to deliver a high impact. All right? And remember, people say, there is a saying, action speaks louder than words, kan? So this is it lah. All right, so leader must consistently demonstrate service value like empathy, integrity, and responsiveness. I find that certain places, when there's always problems, when there's guest complaint, I nampak there's only one thing that is always lacking. The manager left it to the intern and junior staff to handle the situation. Okay, and they're not even coached to do it. Up to that extent, sometimes it's just the words you say, the tone you set, ataupun the pace that you use. The moment you start sounding defensive, this will trigger. Okay, it's just gonna escalate the situation. So I have seen managers bila time problem, you can just disappear. Okay, literally not there. So the staff will handle the best they can, but definitely there will be issues. I say that when it becomes like sudah meletup, then baru datang nak settle and then terus bagi free to free ni. So that's not how it works lah. You need to start building rapport from the moment they set foot at their property. Okay, so remember that leaders, you have to model the behavior because setting the tone is through action. All right, coach, don't command, okay? In the service industry, especially, you need to coach. But these days, I would say leader needs to do a lot more coaching and not just command. Because we are already a different era where the younger generation expected more from the leader, not just cakap-cakap kosong, but they want more interaction so that they are able to do their job more effectively and efficiently. Okay, that's how they excel. All right. So coach, don't command. So effective leaders develop others through feedback. Real-time feedback is always the best. Okay, encouragement and also role modeling. And when you coach, it's okay for them to make mistakes as long as they learn from the mistake. All right. Next, recognize and reinforce. I find this very effective as well. Tapi yang kaki-kaki bodek tu susah sikit lah kan. Okay. So when you catch the staff doing the right thing, recognize in real time to anchor that behavior. Okay, the expected behavior. Also, when they do something wrong, you need to catch them and give them feedback. It's not about punishment, but it's about telling them on the spot, this is where they need to improve. Okay. Kalau you wait terlalu lama, so number one, you forget. Number two, they also forget. Then it will not be effective anymore. Okay, at least before the end of the shift, pull them aside. Jangan malu. Always remember, jangan malukan your staff in front of other people, especially in front of the guests. But pull them aside. Okay, once everything settled, tone down already, pull them aside and just tell them, okay, maybe in the future, you can do this. Ataupun trigger balik. Okay, how does that, you tried this, which is very good, you take action. Every time the staff take action, you need to compliment them. Although the outcome is very bad, at least they ambil action, they berani to take action, there's only one step to positive, okay? to proactive lah, I would say, proactive actions. Then you say, okay, but unfortunately, the guest behavior is like this. Sebab tu, maybe hari tu you pakai the same technique, it works better, it works out, but this time doesn't work out because the behavior of the guest is as such. Okay? I think those who are highly experienced will also experience this situation. We tried before, it's really like, wow. But we tried with this guy, bukan wow, memang hancur. Okay, why? It's a human behavior. Right? Okay, last but not least is how to sustain the culture. I mean, you just don't train, but you want to sustain. Okay, sustaining the service values is not easy, but you can reinforce service norms through meetings, policies, and also ongoing conversations. For me, when you create safe space, this easily communicated among the team members. They don't feel threatened. They don't feel that we are finding fault with them. Okay, safe space, guys. All right, let's look at the self-assessment. Try to self-assess your current situation. Is your culture service-driven? Number one, shared vision. Does every team member understand your service philosophy and standards? Do they understand, or they're doing something else? Or are they really confused? Or maybe they're like, ada bos micromanage kan, tak apa nanti bos buat. In the end, masuk kerja, thumbprint, and then thumb out, and then ujung bulan dapat gaji. Okay. So when you talk about self-assess, guys, share vision. Does every team member understand your service philosophy and standard? Yes or no? Okay. And then next one, empowerment. Do employees feel trusted? Okay. Are you like refraining yourself to step in, or are you empowering your staff? Do they feel trusted and capable of solving guest issues on their own? Okay, even if they do, you still need to monitor from far. Okay, encourage lah. Okay, recognition culture, a great service moment consistently celebrated and shared. Okay, leadership example, do leaders regularly demonstrate and reinforce guest-centric values? Okay, so pause and reflect, look at this self-assessment checklist and audit your team and also your leadership approach. All right. Okay, because you must remember, service excellence is habitual. Okay, when that happens, when you manage to cultivate that among your team members, then everything will flow smoothly. Okay? Kalau tidak, nak balik cuti raya pun susah. Alright, anything on question 1 before we go to module 2? Anyone, any questions in module 1? Ada, tak ada? Alright, in module 2, we are setting clear service expectations. Alright, the power of SOPs and service standard. SOP ni pun nanti kita tengok tau. Okay? Through my experience, SOP is only document dekat shelf sana yang dah berhabuk. Through experience. But hopefully people are using it lah. Okay? Alright, how to measure and maintain service excellence. Alright, and in this topic, in this module, we are going to do a short exercise, crafting a service vision statement. Okay, how do we go about it? Okay. Alright, let's look at this quote. Clarity in service standards create consistency in guest experience. Alright. Already learn more in just this hour. Let's start. Alright, share. Thank you. Okay, the power of SOP and standard. Okay, clarity creates consistency. Please see. Okay, let me tell you about SOP. Sometimes SOP is created by consultants. The consultants who are not even doers. Okay, so if you have SOP, sometimes it's good to sit and review them and have the doers on board so that you can fine-tune your SOPs as you go along. Because you must remember, if your hotel or your organization has been there for over 20 years, you rasa your client tu, the behavior of your client berubah tak in 20 years? Yes or no? Yes or no? Please type in the chat box. Manusia berubah, kan? Okay, yeah. So, customer preference, customer expectations, customer behavior all change. So you need to refine your SOP. And best way to do it is get the doers on board. Then they will be able to see from their perspective and their day-to-day interaction. Okay, sebaik semua cakap yes. Alright, so define the how. Okay, SOP is used to guide staff on the exact procedure for delivering consistent service quality. Right? Okay, it is the backbone of any high-performing service team. Right? Reduce ambiguity, especially regarding ISO standard requirement. Yeah, also can be revised. Okay, tanpa keraguan menasabah. Betul-betul, agree. Okay, sometimes we say, oh, tak boleh ubah lah, tak boleh. Alah. SOP are not carved in stone. Okay, please review and modify. Sometimes, maybe 20 years ago, the process is very, very long. Sebab apa? Teknologi. Sebab apa? We have to go and do things from scratch. But over the year, you have technology, you have tools that can expedite the process, that can reduce the process. Go ahead lah kan. Right? There's some people who like, oh, tak boleh. Ni SOP tu masuk lah. Ni orang macam ni memang nak kena. Okay. Orang macam ni cakap dengan I dalam 2 minit, darah I sudah naik. Alright, reduce ambiguity, clear standards, eliminate guesswork. Alright, especially for new ataupun rotating staff. When you have cross-departmental, it's good to let them go through SOP. And also, best thing yet is to go through on the ground with them. That means you walk through the SOP, not just bagi paper, balik baca. Okay, normally macam tu kan, ada masa lah. Nah, ni balik baca, di sekolah kan. Alright, so clear standards, eliminate guesswork. Okay, they must understand the process, the flow, how to go about it, okay, the timing, and everything else that happens throughout every shift. Okay, improve accountability. When you have SOP, when you have clarity, then you can also improve accountability. Okay, they know how far they are responsible for some areas, some things, and what next? Who are the authorities? Who do they report to? Okay, so the power is SOP and standard. So when everyone is aligned with documented standards, your accountability will improve. Once your lower rank accountability improve, as a leader, supervisor, manager, do you think your accountability improve or not? Okay, kita kena ambil masa sikit mendidik tau. Alright. So documented procedures make expectations transparent and also performance measurable. And when you do the SOP, you need to also tell them the why and the how and the what. Let them really understand from all perspectives, from all angles. This way, they're able to handle the situation more effectively, right? Reinforce culture. Well-designed SOP reflect your core service value in everyday tasks. Okay, also remember, SOP should not be a constraint, all right? But it should be a playbook for service excellence. It should be a guide, right? Also, if you can follow better lah, if something happen, ada backup mah, correct or not? Okay, let's look at how you measure service excellence. When you extend service, it's very intangible, correct or not? Cannot see, right? But you still need to measure, right? So there are tools and metrics that you can use. Number one is guest feedback. Okay, you need to track performance because sometimes yang bijak pandai lah, you ada staff yang pandai kan. Yelah, dah bagi servis, mana boleh nampak. Kita nak tengok guest rasa, yelah, but when there is guest feedback means that is one of the measuring tools, alright? Okay, why kita nak measure? Because we want to continuously improve. Okay. So the younger, the junior workforce, they need to understand this because review, feedback, these are all a very important tools to know whether we are on the right track or not. Okay. For my team, because we have a majority of our clients, I would say about 70% are foreign, international guests. So I ask them to review State Advisor. We do that on daily basis and share in the group. So kalau yang positive feedback tu memang celebrate lah kan. Okay, so we want to make that a habit so that they are on top of things. Okay. Alright, so survey online reviews are critical to understanding perception and areas for improvement. Okay. Operational KPI, right? Wait time, macam service industry, F&B, waiting time from one order. Let's say you pergi Starbucks kan, you order. How long does it take for them to prepare your order? That's number one. Kalau let's say you guys have ordered Domino's or not? Domino's delivery, apa dia bagi dekat you? Dia ada voucher kan kalau lewat kan? Alright, so those are the tracking. Okay, tracking tools. Then also resolution rate, repeat complaint, service recovery metric. Sometimes when you send in online complaint, you akan dapat notification to tell us that how long did it take to process and to get back to you. Okay, so from the moment your complaint masuk until notification keluar, there is also time kat situ. Alright, sometimes ni kan, cuti, oh ni tak ada orang tu. Okay, so those are the tools that they need to use to measure. Another one is mystery shopper. Anyone here has become mystery shopper? When I was in KL, I used to do this mystery shopper for a bank. I did for what's that red thing? Arab. Apa tu ayam merah tu? Oh shit, I can't remember. It's not Afin. What's that bank? Red color. Arab, was it Arab something? Okay lah, one of the banks and also DG. Okay, so they give lah a question, got account, everything. Okay, so mystery shopper. Anyone here have done mystery shopper before? Okay, mystery shopper is when you lantik, you appoint a third party to evaluate your service. Okay, from this outcome, you will actually set and evaluate against the benchmark performance, and then you derive the training. Okay, highlight in the training need. Alright, sometimes they launch a new, let's say, tagline ke apa ke kan. Then they katalah launch, and then they start sending mystery shopper to go around and see how the staff attend to you, what are the words they say, do they use the right tagline, do they have how they do the greeting and all that. Alright, so that's mystery shopper. Once being invited by one company to help them review banks and retail services, big customer service experience for Retic KL station last year. Wow, that's nice. Good one, Arlene. All right, and then there's also internal observation. Routine work is very important. For me, as a leader, I do a lot of observation. I'm a person who needs to see. Seeing, for me, seeing is believing. So I cannot sit behind my desk, behind my computer and do, of course you need to do your work lah, but the morning part, at least half the day, I need to walk about so that I'm on top of things. That's where you communicate, you chat about, and then, you find all these difficulties to walking about and meeting a team member. Okay, not just meet high level, low level pun kena ni sebab dia ada dua. So routine walkthrough and leader audit reinforce standards and uncover hidden issues. Sometimes pergilah dia orang pot mana duduk makan, pergi lepak-lepak sekejap, ataupun macam tea landscape, they always come very early in the morning, by 7 they start work. Then they will have tea break. So I would sit with them, bawa lah nasi lemak ke, tarik ikat tepi je kan. Doa lepak-lepak dekat dia punya, apa nama, landscape punya area tu. Nursery kan. Okay. Dia makan nyamuk lah. Okay lah. Okay, alright. So, measure what matters and use it to grow. Alright. So, let's do a bit of exercise here at your own space. So, let's define what great service looks like. Alright, purpose driven. Okay, so when you craft a service vision, you have to ensure that it's not just a slogan. Sometimes people, wah, slogan, meletup. Tetapi in actual tak follow pun, kan? Right? So basically, your service vision should be a cultural compass. It should be a direction where everyone is not just going to look, but is going to apply. Right? So it should be purpose driven, link your service vision to organization's mission and also guest promise. Okay, and this needs to connect to directly to a broader mission, right? Memorable language. Okay, sometimes especially when consultant is involved, they will use like very bombastic words that orang bawah pun tak faham. Okay, memorable language is just vivid, aspirational language that resonates emotionally and practically. Okay, I worked with a property before this. Even singing dia macam ada apa, the company ni lagu kan pun boleh rasa di hati tau. Okay? I think because of the owner lah, he's very passionate in what he does. Alright. Alright, team created involve frontline leadership voices to foster ownership and relevance. Okay, so when you create a vision, include the doers into the picture. Once they see the ideas there on the board as part of the vision, they will feel more connected and they feel more, they will take up the ownership, okay? Because you must remember that this process, once we involve the front line, they are the doers and they will be able to share with us also what they are going through. So all this can be crafted into a vision. All right, daily reference. Best vision are always good, simple enough to guide daily choices and actions. Okay. It should be relatable and realistic. All right. So you can do this in your own space and see how and what you can come up with. All right. Okay. I'm going to share with you some leading brands SOP, service standards in action. I think remember the other day pun I talk about Ritz-Carlton kan. Kalau service ni I nampak dia orang ni like one of the top ones lah. And later at the end of this I want to ask you what are the similarities among the three companies. Alright, for Ritz-Carlton, every staff member is empowered to spend 2,000 USD to resolve guest issues without approval. Okay, this one trust lah. Okay, so Four Seasons they use the golden rule. Okay, golden rule service emphasize on empathy and personalized guest interaction. Okay, they always remind staff to treat guests how they would like to be treated, because this will frame expectations along ataupun around empathy. Okay, not just execution. Alright. Next one is Disney. Semua tahu Disney kan? Okay, Disney ada 4 keys SOP. Number 1, safety. You know why safety, right? Because Disney is always like very huge, very big. All right, there's a lot of things to do as well, a lot of activities. Okay, so safety, courtesy, show, and efficiency, right? So this guides all guest-facing rules. Okay, so that's what the simple rule that is applied by Disney. Okay, lesson for you. Great SOPs are simple, value-driven, and empower action and not micromanaging. Alright, kalau you tengok all these 4, what stand out most? Which one stand out most among these 3 big giant companies? For you guys lah, which one? RC for Ritz-Carlton, Four Seasons, FS, D for Disney. Anyone? Alright, just keep the chat going. Okay. I nampak the overlapping, the similarity for all these three companies is empowerment. Okay. Alright. Any questions in module 2? We're going to module 3, motivating and recognizing team. In this module, we're going to look at incentive and recognition programs that work. Okay, some samples, some ideas that you can use and apply to your team members. Encouraging a culture of accountability. Okay, and we look at how great companies create service-driven teams. Okay, let's look at the quote. What gets recognized gets repeated. Agree? Okay, especially great service. Okay, so incentive and recognition that work. All right, so when we talk about recognition and incentive, it should be fueling morale through meaningful reward, not just alang-alang. Okay, peer-to-peer recognition boosts morale and camaraderie when teammates celebrate each other's service wins. Sometimes it's just a matter of putting it in a WhatsApp, hey, congratulations. Kan, when you katalah housekeeping team dapat a good review, put in a chat box, in a WhatsApp to say that, hey, congratulations, you know lah, bagilah that celebrative emoji and whatnot, right? So this helps to sustain a positive culture. And when you start celebrating, it helps to boost their morale and also creating a very harmonious environment. Jangan ada dengki pula kan. Kan ada dengki sikit and leh. Okay, ni drama Melayu pukul 7 petang. Okay, so when it's done right, this incentive recognition help reinforce your values. Okay, improve retention and also energize your team. All right, tangible award. Yes, when you talk about service, it's very intangible, but reward kena tangible lah. Tak boleh reward intangible pun tak jalan lah. All right. So gift cards, extra time off, special privileges, keep high performance engaged. Also, if you have product and services, sometimes you can also give vouchers based on your product ataupun services. That can be done as well. Okay. Okay, spotlight program. Highlight employee contributions in meeting, briefing, newsletters, or guest facing signage. Okay. Kalau orang ada kan employee of the month letak dekat lobby. I think bank pun ada. Okay, letak dekat apa? The counter tu employee of the month, right? So all this helps to boost their morale and also the feeling of being appreciated, being seen, being valued, right? Because you know why, we're human. Okay, behavior focus, not just result, right? So reward behaviors that align with service value, not just metrics. Katalah that department, no doubt they're not really, in terms of numbers, maybe they've not achieved it, but then they're getting really good reviews for their actions. Okay? Yes, that department, you need to recognize them as well. In terms of numbers, support them how to increase the numbers. Okay? Okay, encouraging a culture of accountability. Ini pun sama ni. Dia ada juga bosser-bosser yang nak tai chi kan. Okay. Bila mana dapat kredit, dapat puji-pujian, oh, it's me. Tetapi bila kena apa buntut dah panas kan, okay, and then, oh, it's not me. Itulah my staff, my staff. Okay. So please, if you're a leader, please don't do that. You need to create a culture of accountability. It needs to start with you as a leader. Right? So ownership is a foundation of service excellence. Okay. First and foremost, you need to start clear expectations. You must remember accountability is not about punishment. Okay, don't get confused. It's more towards ownership. It's more towards growth and also trust. Okay, even if they fail, even if they didn't work out as expected, because we dealing with humans, they should also be given some acknowledgement for that proactive actions they've taken. Then, okay, what next? Okay, feedback ada yang positif, the sandwich feedback lah, okay? Positive, negative, positive. Okay, as long as what we want is that for them to move forward. Okay, Clarity in role, standards, and behavior will prevent confusion and excuses. All right. Feedback loop, real-time, respectful, constructive feedback. Okay. Because what we want to do, we want to reinforce accountability and growth. So respectful and constructive feedback is very, very important, especially in the younger generation. Those days, my time, zaman-zaman dinosaur dulu, our review is done once a year. Hujung tahun semua dah bosan selang kabut, nak interview lah, nak apa, buat apa, annual performance review. The younger generation, they want a real-time feedback, um, consistently ongoing feedback, so that they know if they are on the right track, they know which areas to improve. Okay. For the newer, younger workforce, I will give them a more frequent feedback. It could be a fortnightly, it could be every month or every 3 months. Normally, it be quite frequent at the beginning. Masa they just getting the momentum kan. Once the momentum, then get sikit lah. Kan menyampah lah tengok muka ni kan. Alright, model ownership is leader. As a leader, it's okay to make mistakes. We are human, we don't know everything, and we take responsibility. That will set the tone for others. Alright, so jangan malu, because at the end of the day, we want to create a safe space. We want to build a harmonious community, a supportive community that, yes, when we make a mistake, we become more than happy to admit lah, but at least we are brave enough to admit. What I normally do, if I make a mistake, because I'm already the top level and I have to report to higher level dekat HQ kan. So normally after habis lah kita meeting semua, I will tell my boss lah, Datuk Datuk Faris, my boss, the group CEO. Datuk, I ada pengakuan berani mati. I start that statement kan, dia kata, ini apa lagi? Okay. But when I tell him the mistake I did, I also tell him what solution that I took. Okay, and what happened after that. And then tell what are also the learning curve. What did I learn from that mistake? Okay, so sometimes these are the things that we need to not tell lah. We need to show to our downliners, especially. Yes, you made mistake, but also tell us what are the solutions. What did you do after that? Okay, we want them to grow, right? Okay. So masa saya kerja banyaklah pengakuan berani mati kan. Bila I buat statement tu kan, the boss punya tone lain lah. Dia like, apa lagi ni? Okay, so I kata, worst come to world, they will just get angry kan. And it's also their right to get angry. So I'm okay with it lah. Okay, so create safe space. Psychological safety empowers team members to own the actions without fear. Okay. Those days, baby boomers, Gen X, use threat as one way to improve. These days, please don't do that anymore. Please feel a safe space for everyone. The world is just so stressful already. Don't add more lah. Okay. So create safe space, build a very supportive community so that we can work harmoniously and we have each other's back. All right. Okay, let's look at case study. Zappos. Zappos built reputation for legendary service by hiring for culture fit, and they empower agents to delight guests. Okay. Hilton, they use digital bots and recognition platform to celebrate top performing staff. Okay, Ritz-Carlton, naik lagi. Ritz-Carlton ni memang akan naik lah. But dia banyak actively in terms of service. Daily service hurdles and staff storytelling reinforce values and pride in excellence. And the whole key takeaway, culture-driven hiring, daily rituals, and visible appreciation will create high trust, high performance teams. All right, top tools to keep teams engaged. Anyone have any questions for me? Ada soalan ke? Semua senyap ini, ada lagi orang Okay, we're gonna go to Kahoot after this. Ada orang lagi ke? Am I alone? All right, let's look at a few of the top tools to keep teams engaged, to boost motivation in modern methods. You can use a gamification app. Ya, ada. Cibik ada. Ingat kan seorang. Okay, gamification apps. I haven't tried this, but it depends lah. It should be feasible for your team. Okay, it can go. You can use Kazoo or bonus return recognition and goals into fun team-driven competition. Actually, Kahoot pun ada. Okay, short menghayati yang menghayati tak apa. Takut yang hanyut terus tak boleh tolong. Okay, next is feedback platform. This one selalu pakai lah. Okay, real-time apps. Alright, macam hotel we use TripAdvisor and I do this every morning and then I can letak dekat group lah. Okay, and I make sure the supervisor will tell their own team to escalate down lah. Alright, to be appreciative. Alright, real-time apps untuk feedback platform, it's up to you. Some ada pakai CMS. Okay, and then macam ni office vibe, allow anonymous staff insights and pulse check. Okay, recognition board, this one can be physical board. Okay, yang biasa letak kat cafe, dekat staff entrance, dekat apa, changing room ke, you know, staff lounge, right? Display showcasing daily wins, foster ongoing motivation. Okay, learning tools. There are companies who actually spend on LMS. Okay, micro learning app, right, that provide short, engaging service training, right? You know, training doesn't have to be like one whole day. It could be like 15 minutes. It could be 30 minutes. It could be 20 minutes. It doesn't have to be something you gonna do like forever. But you know, you chop them into small bits and pieces for them to acquire knowledge. Okay, if you create this culture of learning, it will be great because there's always a lot to learn. All right, key takeaways. Already key takeaways. Can we do this at the end? I nak buat ni dulu. Oh, tak ada Kahoot lah. Can we do Kahoot first before this? Can Okay, let us go to Kahoot. Sekejap. Okay, ada link kan untuk Kahoot? Alright, get ready to join. Your game pin is 6413282. Kahoot link sekejap. Okay, here you go. Kahoot.it. Zafran, Iqbal, Husnina is in. Kita tak ramai hari ni. Kita ada about 70. Okay, come on guys. 3. Ikhwan, Safi, Ikhwan, Arlene. Keep it going. Aizudin. Alright, game pin is 6413282. Hi Jay, hi Hawa. 8, Milan, Hillary, welcome on board. Holy she. You all Daus, the last time I rasa tak sampai 1 second you all dah jawab semua orang tau. Wah, sangat power. Fatin. I remember the last one was the fastest. Alright, 12, 3 more. Oh, sorry, 5 more. Any more coming in? We shall start in 1 minute. Alright, SS. Okay, we'll start in 30 seconds. Okay, lagi nak masuk. Alright. Okay, ready ah? Ta-da! 8 ways to create service-driven work culture. Question number 1. What is the foundation of a strong service culture? Is it good marketing? Is it employee uniform? Or is it discount policy? Atau service mindset? Oh, oh hebat. Okay, semua betul lah. Service mindset and consistent action. Wah, J paling laju ni. JSS, Arlene, kau dengan Hawa. Okay, next. Question number 2. Which are the following best measures service excellence? Guest feedback, staff attendance, sales numbers, uniform cleanliness. 9. Alright, guest feedback and service audit. Macam senang je. Next time kena buat soalan susah sikit lah. Okay, Hillary naik. Aizuddin and Daus. Okay, how was it in the game? Alright, next. Companies with great service culture usually have strict policies, empower staff and reward service behavior, hire only extroverts, focus only on sales targets. Alright, so empower staff and reward service behavior. Alright, congratulations. J. J ni pegang tahta ni, tak mau turun ni. Hawa, SS, Hillary and Daud. SS pun naik, Hawa pun naik. Okay, next. Husnina just hit answer straight 3. Question number 4. One immediate step to build service culture is recognize good behavior, hold long meetings, redesign the office, hire new staff. Oi, laju. Okay, recognize good service behavior. Let's look at the position. J is still leading. Our is maintaining. SS, Daud, and Hillary. All right, last question, guys. Which action best supports a service-driven culture? Post rules on the wall. Send out long memo yang orang tak baca. Okay, model behavior you want to see and also create more hierarchy. Lama sikit. Alright, model behavior you want to see. Alright, let's look at the podium. Number 3, SS. Number 2, Hawa. Hawa ni comeback kan. Yay! Alright, congratulations. Okay. Ya, dah macam warm up lah, panas lah. Alright, so let's go to the final slide. Hey, you guys got any question or not? Saya tak tahu sorang. Alright. So, key takeaways. And if you have any questions, please drop in the chat box. Clear. Alright. Number 1 is service culture is intentional. So, excellence starts with clear values, consistent modeling, and daily reinforcement. Happy game. Okay, you all semakin laju. Alright, so culture doesn't happen by default. It is intentional. Right, so you have to set clear. One more game. 2 jam pun tak habis. Alright, lead by example. Please, if you're a leader, please lead by example. You are the role model. So if you want your staff to be the happy service provider, you need to show them as well. You know, the tone, the pace, how you communicate, how welcoming, how warm, what are the greetings like. If you start doing that, then the staff will follow. Because, you know, they will just copy mah. Okay. Selalu copy tu benda yang buruk lah kan. among other things that I like to do, kalau hotel, check-out time is at 12 o'clock, right? So 12 o'clock, I akan standby. Tengoklah kalau very busy, I akan standby kat lobby to send the guests off. Okay? Because normally I would spend my time to have a morning chat dengan guests over breakfast, at the buffet breakfast, yeah. That's when I do temperature check how they are, how's their stay, is there anything else that they're looking for, whether they're looking for another places of interest that they want to go to. So when you really meet them over breakfast, masa you send them off, so it's like sometimes it's very apa nama very emotional time. Okay, for me, even I push in the luggage, angkat luggage, open the door for them, really like sending them off as warm as I can because it's just like you orang datang rumah you kan. Of course you welcome them when they come in and when they leave you also like at the gate bye bye dia orang kan. So that's just how it is that we apply the same to the guest. Okay, so they will feel like, oh, okay, we're going away. Especially at a resort, the sun, the sea, the blue sky, all these things have an impact and it's up that vibe. All right, so empower your team. Okay, remember, you don't work alone. You have a team, and make sure you empower them, give them the trust to, and also proper training so that it will drive confidence. Sometimes staff tu bukan tak nak, semua dia tak confident. Why tak confident? Because uh, coaching, you can do it on day-to-day basis. Mentoring, you can do that as well. But training on and off, you still need to do it. Doesn't matter lah whether it's going to be physical is always best lah, especially when it comes to the lower rank, right? Um, so that even a half day is also sufficient. Then start small. At least make sure everybody goes through that series so that everyone is aligned. All right. And also empower them to apply guest-centric decision. Okay. There's no such thing as a perfect decision. There's no such thing as the best decision, but always think that making decision is already a proactive action, and decisions can come in many many outcomes. Okay, it may not be the outcome that you wanted, but sometimes it will still work well. For me, to my start, I cakap satu ya, up to your creativity. This is the result I want. So I set my expectations clearly, and if they need me to facilitate, I'm happy to do so. But definitely, I'm not micromanaging them. It takes time lah. I think we all from the older generation, baby boomers and also Gen X, we are always being told what to do in our days. And then we learn, of course, we don't have devices, we don't have things that we can just Google and find out the answers, but everything is done from scratch. So when it comes to the younger generation, sometimes it's hard to let go. Okay, I learned to let go, I would say over 15 years ago. Okay, because I feel like I buat lagi cepat mah. Correct or not? When you do something and you not guide, which one faster? Of course you do faster, right? Okay, especially when you're super efficient. But then at the end of the day, you're not empowering your staff, right? So to empower the staff, make sure let them go. Okay, let it go, let it go, right? Empower them to make decisions. All right, recognize and reward often. This is also very important because when people feel seen and valued, they will actually give more, right? So positive feedback, all right? Positive and constructive feedback, okay? And visibility will motivate the high performance and also with pride. Because when you talk about the younger generation, they require more frequent feedback so that they know that they are on the right track. Okay, if they stick to this, just give it up. All right. So act on what you learn. Start with one strategy. Okay, discuss barriers, brainstorm solutions, and then you start to pilot the change. But whatever you want to act on, always pull in the doers as well, because sometimes we want to also hear from them. Okay, otherwise short sendiri lah. We want. But then in the end, the doers pun tak boleh buat. So when you do something that is not realistic, not achievable, you are not preparing your staff to success, but you're sending them to failure. Okay, and that's even worse. All right. So can you guys just pick one strategy and you rasa maybe immediately that you want to do based on what we cover today? Pick one strategy to pilot in your workplace this month. It could be to review. To review SOP tu is also one action. Maybe SOP ada 10 item. Tapi kalau consultant buat SOP dia akan ada 20-30 item yang memang 50% unachievable. It looks good on paper lah. You try buat tengok. Okay. Please put in the chat box what is that one strategy you want to pilot this month. You dah start kerja esok. Tomorrow is Tuesday. Start working kan tomorrow. Alright. So if you have any questions, this is contact us if you need anything, discuss program customization, you want more information. I will update your attendance. Hopefully everyone dah ambil attendance. Alright. And also share with you the recording and also the slide. Okay. Alright. Don't forget, share with us your review. Okay, and if you're on LinkedIn and you've not connected yet, please do connect with me. I jarang post in social media, not so much, but I do a lot on LinkedIn. So I post things, on empathy, emotional intelligence, more of housekeeping, hotel stuff, leadership, right? Some tips, some, strategies, techniques, whatever not lah. Some happy stuff, some fun stuff. Okay. So please connect with me. I'll be more happy to connect with you guys and share information, share experience. Alright. So any other question? Jangan lupa ambil gambar. Please on your camera. Let's take photo. On the camera so we can take photos. If you happen to come down in KL, maybe. Oh, sure. I'm planning to go down on the 18th. I have an event. It's only half day. Okay, thanks. When you get my email later, when I send a thank you email, there's also my phone number there. Hi, Azuddin. Hi, Hillary. Hillary, in Kuching, what's the weather like in Kuching? Hujan tak? Panas Hot Okay. Hi, Howard. Howard from where, Howard? KPJ. No, you're not KPJ. I mean. Effendi, can on camera. Hi, Shafiq. Tapi tengok team Fimal. Where can I get the slide? Nanti I email. Thanks, Jaga. Yeah, I email. Once I settle you all punya attendance, I'll do it tonight lah. Hi, Effendi. Oh, PC tak ada kamera. Okay, tak apa. Anyone else? Syarimin, Fatin, Firdaus. Firdaus kalau dekat Syafiq, duduk tepi Syafiq, boleh. Jauh sikit. Husnina, okay, tak ada. SS, Arlene. Okay, Kolishi and Aisyah. Okay, alright. Alright, yeah, hello. Kolishi in KL, right? KL kan? Kolishi. Yeah. Alright, guys, ready? 1, 2, and 3. Senyum. Lihat sopannya lah. Okay. Let me take one more. I old school lah. Dia ada tools tau untuk ambil group foto. Tapi tak berapa pandai. Tapi terus keluar dari Zoom. So, yeah, okay guys, freestyle. 1, 2, and 3. Okay. So today I have successfully recorded the session. Thanks to Jaga for reminding. Tidak, I lupa diri lagi. Alright, okay guys, thank you so much. Have a good night. Thank you for joining me. Okay, malam-malam ni. Alright, hopefully you guys can pick up at least one strategy that you want to use immediately. Alright. Okay, anyone joining tomorrow for introduction to project management? Tomorrow is during the day. 10 o'clock, I'll send the link. Sebab the link is different. The link is different. There is over 200 participants. So we have to split into two groups. First group we start at 10 o'clock. Second group we start at 2 o'clock. So we take the first 100. So first come first serve basis. So siapa yang boleh masuk awal pagi tu just terus click in early as you can. Tomorrow is with Dr. Khairul Anwar. He does the leadership also. Alright, so those who joining me tomorrow, there'll be a separate link, different link. You will get the email in 3 minutes. Alright. Okay. Okay, good. Join petang so kan. Petang is 2 to 4. Okay, sebab too many exceeded quota already. Alright, thank you guys. Good night. Assalamualaikum. Alright, good night, Hillary. Hi.